Seattle Seahawks against the Cleveland Browns. Sponsored by the McDonald Restaurants of Western Washington. By People's Bank. People's Bank is the People's Bank. By Big Bear, with the lowest prices in town. By Pacific Northwest Bell, your vital link to the rest of the world. When the phone rings, it's us. And by your Toyota dealer and Toyota's new 4Runner, the versatile four-wheel drive vehicle. Now, live from the Kingdome, King 5's Lou Gellos.
The job search is over. The learning experience is complete. The preseason is over, and the regular season is here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lou Gellos. This afternoon, the Cleveland Browns open their regular season against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks would like nothing better than to repeat their playoff performance from last season. But they'd like to start off a little bit differently. They'd like to win that first game, something they have been unable to do in their 8-season history.
You know, in our history, we never won an opener. So it's about time for us to do that at least. And, you know, we just want to go out and play hard and come out with a victory.
The intensity is a lot higher now because we know these are the games that count. Also, we've never won our opener. So I think we have a little more incentive. And our attitude is much better. So we're kind of anticipating the opener now. It's kind of getting down to where you get itchy feeling.
Well, we'd like to keep the O at the end of our record as long as we can. We've never been able to do that starting with the first game. But it's just one game, and it just counts as one win or one loss regardless of what happens. But, you know, I think it's always sets a positive tone towards the rest of the season when you win that first one.
No one anticipated us going to the Super Bowl last year, and maybe that kind of helped us, you know, being the Cinderella story. But we're not the Cinderella story anymore. We're for real. We're the Seattle Seahawks, and we're one of the best teams in the NFL. And, you know, we're going to play that way.
We certainly expect to see a lot more of that man, Kurt Warner. But what kind of team will we see? The Seahawk team that won 4 preseason games, or the one that stumbled against San Francisco last week? For a clue on that, Gene Washington and Charlie Jones.
Thank you, Lou. An interesting comparison of the teams for an opener. They were both 9-7 last year. Cleveland, the only 9-7 team that did not make the playoffs. Of course, the Seahawks made the playoffs and went to the championship game.
Well, this game is so important for Seattle because there's some teams that are in that what I call an upper middle class group. And these are the teams that Seattle must beat if they're going to get to the Super Bowl and get that Super Bowl ring. No one's going to be overlooking Seattle this year.
Let's look at this game particularly. We've come off the preseason. It's been a good preseason except for the last game against the 49ers. What do you look for today?
Well, of course they're going to run the football with Kurt Warner, but what Seattle has to resist, I think, early is resist the temptation to go after that weak Cleveland defense. They're really hurting in that area. They have some young players playing, but there's a temptation to go after it. But stick with what you do best. Give that football to Kurt Warner.
And we'll be back with the opening kickoff of the season in just a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Gene Washington, here in the Kingdome. The season opener being brought to you by King Television for the Seahawk viewers. On this special day, Labor Day afternoon, as the captains meet in midfield with Jerry Markbright, the referee for the home opener.
Charlie, when I mentioned Seattle has to resist going after the weak defense, I didn't mean to imply that Cleveland has a weak defense, of course, with those outstanding linebackers. They do have, though, some weaknesses in their defensive backfield, and that's what I was referring to, the fact that they have some young players there, and the tendency is to say, let's find these young players and go after them right away, but that gets Seattle out of their ordinary game plan, and they don't want to do that. They want to do what they've done to get to this point of being successful last year. Let's run the football with Kurt Warner. And
one of the men that you're talking about in the secondary for the Cleveland Browns is Don Rogers, number 20. He is their starting free safety, and he is their #1 draft choice out of UCLA. He's a good one, but he is a rookie, and this is his first regular season start in the National Football League. And Gene, as you know, that changes the name of the game when you get to regular season at first. What was your first start like?
Well, the tempo changes so dramatically from preseason football. First of all, there's that step from college football to pro football going into training camp. Then you go into preseason. Then when the real thing starts, those veteran players, it's like they just take the dial and turn it up a notch or two. And it takes you a while to adjust. But Don Rogers, the #1 draft choice at UCLA, people liken him to Jack Tatum in terms of how he's able to intimidate receivers. Very physical, very tough player.
You saw the return men for the Browns. Number 44 is Ernest Biner, and number 85 is Bruce Davis, and they are both rookies. Biner, a 10th-round draft choice. Davis taken in the 2nd round, and Norm Johnson starts NFL 84 for the Seahawks. And here's Davis on the counter to the 15. Out to the 20, retains his balance, and returns near the 28-yard line. A return of 29 yards on the play.
Reggie Rucker told me before the game started today that Bruce Davis is as fast as any receiver in all of football. He said those yard markers just disappear.
Offensively for the Cleveland Browns, Mike Pruitt, the running back. Paul McDonald will be the cornerback. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Feature Harris, Holtz, and Newsome. Ozzie Newsome, he's looking at another season of around 89 or 90 receptions. Mike Pruitt. The way you expect to open a football game, it seems everybody has to hit everybody at least one time. Michael Jackson makes the tackle. Then offensive line for the Cleveland Browns, there is a question mark. Deacon, Jackson, Babb, Delamador. The question mark is at right tackle. Paul Farron, he's replacing the injured Cody Rison. This is Farron's 2nd year in the NFL. He was a 12th-round draft choice a year ago, but this is his first start. 34-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Paul McDonald out of the University of Southern California. Husky fans remember him. Good. And the defense stops him. It'll be a yard, so it'll be 3rd down and 3. Shelton Robertson was there. Here's that defensive line. Jacob Green, Joe Nash, and Jeff Bryan. It'll be that matchup, Green against Farron. Linebackers, Schultz, Robinson, Butler, and Michael Jackson. And in the secondary, Simpson, Brown, Easley, and Harris. 3rd down and 3. Cleveland's ball on their own 35-yard line. And a few Brown fans are here. We look for the first pass of the ball game. Incomplete. Ozzie Newsome, the intended receiver. So the Seahawk defense holds, and the Browns will be kicking, and that will bring in Steve Cox. And setting up for the return, Paul Johns. A good return by Paul Johns, and Seattle could start with excellent field position. Has some pressure from Terry Taylor, taken at the 22-yard line. Flag is down, and Johns is down at the 24, but there was a marker on the play.
It appeared as though one of the Seahawk blockers got someone from behind. Of course, that's the worst way to start, is to start off with a penalty. Yep, there's the indication against the Seahawks.
That takes away any kind of field position opportunity. Don Rogers made the tackle. The punt 43 yards.
Number 22 on the run back. 1st down. Timeout.
We've got a timeout. 13 minutes, 15 seconds. That is the time remaining. We're in the 1st quarter, and we have no score between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks here in the Kingdome as King 5 Television bringing you this opener. We'll be back. Now let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks offensive set. Dave Craig will be the quarterback. Kurt Warner and Cullen Bryan, the running backs. Warner only 18 carries in preseason. The wide receivers, Paul Johns, Steve Largent had that hamstring problem. He should be healthy. Charlie Young, the tight end. Essink, McKenzie, Bush, Pratt, and August, the offensive line. As Largent comes wide to the near side. Kurt Warner yards to the 20. Second down and 4. And Don Rogers, the free safety, moved up to make the tackle. Defensively for the Cleveland Browns, Reggie Camp, Bob Golick, and Keith Baldwin. Pretty good front three, but here's the strength. Chip Banks, he is all universe. Eddie Johnson, Tom Cousineau, Clay Matthews. 4 great linebackers. Question mark in the secondary, Johnson, Dixon, Gross, and Rogers. Second and 4. Here's Warner coming back inside. First down, 27-yard line. Gain of 7. And again, number 20, the free safety, Don Rogers, makes the tackle.
What a difference it makes when you have a runner like Kurt Warner in your backfield. Seattle, it's no mystery that they're going with 2 tight ends because that's the best formation to run from. You get everyone to block man on man, and then you give the ball to Kurt Warner and you say, you find the hole. And he's so quick. His feet are so quick. He can run into the line and shift positions and go another direction. It's amazing, but the difference it makes to see him in the game after, the last time in San Francisco, him not playing at all.
Also, I think Kurt Warner plays better on artificial surface. I think it enhances his quickness. There, look at the cut. Yards to the 31-yard line in the first play of the highlight film.
You're right. There are not many players who can make a 4-yard run exciting, right? But as you said, his ability to cut and the AstroTurf, and I agree, I think it enhances. Look at the sharp cuts. Go left, right, left. Oh, I mean, making players miss who are good linebackers. This is as good a group of linebackers as you will find anywhere in the NFL.
Here, Warner, 3 carries, 17 yards. At the AFC in rushing last year is Cullen Bryant from the 31, and Cullen is out of bounds at about the 33. Tom Cousineau was there. Now, why Cullen Bryant? The fans may ask, and I might answer, if he's going to block for Kurt Warner every 4 or 5 downs, give him the ball and let him run with it. Make him
keep
happy.
up his spirit.
Keep up his spirit. Well, is that not true, though? To a certain extent.
To a certain extent, but also, you can't wear out your number 1 horse. You have to give him a rest every now and then. The same thing holds true with wide receivers. You can't go to the well too often.
That's true.
You have to understand that they get tired.
Third down and 4. And we look for Craig to throw from the shotgun. On target, first down. 42-yard line, gain of 10. The ovation for Steve Largent. He now has a 92-game reception streak. Frank Minifield, the free agent from Louisville, now in the secondary for the Browns, made the tackle.
Well, as important as Kurt Warner is to the running game, so is Steve Largent to the passing game. He has loads of experience, and I don't know if you could see that on the replay, but what he did was he came down and he adjusted his route. He went inside, saw the linebacker there, and shifted back to the outside, break out of the football.
Seattle first down, play action. Deep sliding reception by Metzelar. Cleveland territory. Al Gross with a tackle. 21 yards on the play. The market at the Cleveland 44, so it won't be quite that long.
What makes this play work? Watch the fake. It's a hand fake, but if you're running the ball well, as soon as you fake it to one of your running backs, those linebackers have to respond. They can't get back into the pass drops as quickly. And Metzelar's made a nice catch on that play.
And also, as you saw the replay, officials made a mistake. The defender cleared him. He was not touched down. They missed by about 5 yards. Seattle at the Cleveland 44-yard line, first down. For Warner. He'll have 3 to the 41. It'll be second down and 7.
You know, the one thing that a running game or a successful running game can do to a defense is that it demoralizes a defense. Unlike a passing game, you can throw the ball down the field, complete a pass, and the defense, they don't really question their own ability. But if you go down the field running the ball against them, they begin to wonder, maybe these people are better than we are. And that's the thing that a good running game can accomplish. It will psychologically wear out the opponent.
Second down and 7. drops the ball. Very catchable, just inside the 35-yard line.
The problem with this play for Warner is that it was probably too easy. And let's see if he turns his head just before the ball. There, up. Turning to see where he's going to run before the ball is in his hands. And he's not the first person to make that mistake.
Nor will he be the last. Chuck Knox, head coach of the Seattle Seahawks.
4 wide receivers. Darrell Turner to the near side. Here comes a blitz.
Paul John. Dave Craig going into a crowd. 33 yards, 9-yard line. Rogers saves a touchdown.
Seattle is playing super football. Dave Craig gets the blitz from the outside linebackers. Now, this will show you how fast Don Rogers is, because we all know how fast Paul Johns is. I was saying 6 points. I thought it was going to be a touchdown, but Rogers saves the 6 points.
The coverage by Rod Berry and Clinton Burrell. And Craig throwing into the coverage, and Johns' use, I think, maybe punt returning with people around him helps him in that situation.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. The crowds don't bother him.
First down goal to go. Cleveland, 9-yard line. David Hughes. Out of bounds at the 5. It'll be a gain of 4 and second down goal to go. Tom Cousineau made the tackle. Dave Craig has completed 3 of 4 in the drive for 57 yards.
Kurt Warner made some block on that play for David Hughes. Ooh, was it pretty. And when a player like Kurt Warner blocks, you know, the other players really appreciate it. On the right side of your screen, look at that block. Kurt Warner made an outstanding block on Don Rogers. Oh, that was a beauty.
Second down goal to go, 5-yard line. 3 tight ends. Charlie Young, Pete Metzelaars, Mike Tice. Play action.
He's open.
He's there. Mike Tice scoring the first touchdown of the season for the Seattle Seahawks.
Again, the fact that Seattle is running the ball well sets this play up. The number 1 target was Mike Tice all the way, but what made this play work, let's watch again. The linebackers, look at 51, the linebacker, Chip Banks coming in. They have to respect the run if you're running the ball well. If they don't respect your run, they're going to look for that pass.
Norm Johnson with the extra point out of the hold of Tim Zorn. It is done. So, with 7 minutes and 48 seconds left to go, first quarter, the score, the Seattle Seahawks 7 and the Cleveland Browns nothing. An 86-yard perfect touchdown drive in 11 plays. Here is the scoring drive, and during the drive, Dave Craig completed 4 of 5 for 62 of the 86 yards. Kurt Warner, 4 carries, 19 yards rushing. And, of course, it complements each other. It sets the other up. Norm Johnson kicking off. Viner and Davis are deep. Ernest Viner.
Fumble. That ball was bouncing around like a volleyball out there.
An early call by the Seahawk players said they had a late call by the Cleveland players said they have it. The official, there are 2 balls in the field.
They're still fighting over it.
Jerry Marbright got bounced down. Another ball has been tossed out for the official to mark wherever they mark it. First they've got to decide whose it is. Eric Lane helping the officials sort it out. In case there, by the way, rule book call, in case there's simultaneous possession, it goes to the team that originally had the ball. It goes to the offensive possession team.
Let's see if we can see who makes the hit, who shakes it loose. Oh, there it is, the helmet right on the football.
I think it was Bruce Schultz that came across and knocked it loose. And from this point on, you can't tell anything from the replay either.
Like Lou Geller said, it looks like a rugby match out there. A scrum.
A scrum.
What do they call a scrum, Lou?
Cleveland from their own 20-yard line, first down. Seattle leading by a score of 7-0. On the draw, Mike Pruitt. And he is dropped by Shelton Robinson. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Now Cleveland has to be a little stunned because of the way that the Seahawks moved down the field. Not the fact that they scored, but the manner in which they did it.
With the ease. I mean, they were flawless. Craig should have been 5 for 5 because he threw a pass to Warner that was catchable. I mean, they were all just flawless. Seattle has to avoid being a little too aggressive now. They don't want to take any chances on defense.
Pass is complete, first down. Ricky Feature pulled it down. Michael Jackson then pulled him down at the 33-yard line. Gain of 9, first down.
Jackson's slow getting up. You know, it's a shame Michael Jackson, when he's healthy, is a very good player, but he's had such a history of injuries. Let's watch Jacob Green, number 79. He's going against the second-year man, Paul Faring, trying to get to the passer, but there are just too many folks in your way. But this is a matchup that we want to watch as the game progresses, because Cleveland will help block against Jacob Green. They're going to have 2 men blocking on him, so we'll want to watch this as the game goes on.
We've got an injury timeout. We'll be back.
Fifth year, Nash and Bryant only their 3rd year.
Top picks too. That's the sign of a quality organization and continuing to feed the coaching staff with outstanding players. You get those #1 draft choices. Now the trick today is to sign them.
There's no question about that. 6 defensive backs now for the Seahawks on 2nd down and 9, fully expecting Paul McDonald to put the ball in the air. There again is Newsome, and McDonald won't disappoint him. He's going long. The pass intended for number 84, Duriel Harris. McDonald fully expecting Harris to take it outside. Duriel turned it inside.
Duriel Harris is still having problems adjusting to the Cleveland Browns pass offense theory. He came from the very structured and conservative Miami theory, and there was an opportunity for Duriel Harris, and he didn't take it. Paul McDonald was expecting him to go to the open end of the field, and he didn't do it.
Wait a minute. Conservative Miami theory after what we saw yesterday? Let's talk conservative.
Well, they didn't have Marino throwing to Harris at that time.
Exactly. They also didn't have Mark Duper around there in Duriel Harris's earlier years. There's a little draw to Boyce Green. He moves the ball across the midfield stripe near the 48-yard line. Sam Retigliano and the Browns not wanting to put the ball up in interception territory. So the ball will go over. Trotting onto the field is Steve Cox. Dropping back is Paul Johns to field the punt for the Browns, their 2nd punt of the afternoon. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to play opening period. Pardon me, Reggie.
One of the things that the Browns have been trying to do with Steve Cox, who's an excellent hang-time punter and distance punter, is to get more efficient at kicking the ball out inside the 20.
Long count. They'll just as soon take a delay of game penalty, move back 5 yards. Well, they're not going to get it. High punt. Johns. We're going to let it go down. Browns are going to field this one. At the 14-yard line, the ball is down by number 55. That, of course, is Curtis Weathers. And the Seahawks will start deep in their own territory, exactly where they began their last drive. That resulted in an 86-yard drive for the only points in this ball game. 7-0 Seahawks.
Well, an ominous sign heading towards the locker room for the Cleveland Browns was Paul Farron out of the ball game at this point. We'll give you more information as we receive it.
And, of course, Paul Farron is the man that Sam Retigliano was counting on in Cody Rison's absence. There is not much depth at offensive line for the Cleveland Browns. Out of the I formation now, Dave Craig. 2nd man through. That's the tailback, Kurt Warner. And he is out near the 20-yard line, and Kurt bangs for 6 before Eddie Johnson puts a stop to it. What a find for Chuck Knox and the Seattle Seahawks. Well, Kurt Warner
Well, he wasn't actually a fine. They knew how talented Kurt Warner was. It was a matter of could he display that ability as quickly as he's shown in the National Football League. Look at Reggie McKenzie, number 67, coming through the hole, opening up some daylight for Kurt Warner. All he needs is a slither.
Warner thus far in the ball game, when we have not even completed a quarter. Warner 5 rushes for 26 yards. And he's got it again, a little inside crossbutt. Whoa, is he manhandled at the 22-yard line. Clay Matthews up around the shoulders, just grabbed Warner and spun him down.
Matthews, Southern California, 6'2", 235 pounds. Could be probably the most underpublicized superstar in pro football. He can do everything. I think what they need to do, there's Sam Retigliano, what they need to do is inflict more punishment on the Seahawk runners and take charge of the line of scrimmage.
Sam Retigliano in his 7th year as head coach of this Cleveland Browns, and I think folks around the lakefront are getting rather anxious to get back into the playoffs. They're down in 2 from the 22, 2:11 to play. Warner will try to sweep left, and the Brown linebackers pursue nicely. Cousineau jammed it up. Number 56, Chip Banks, jammed it up. And finally knocking him off the ball is the rookie, Don Rogers.
David Hughes, a member of that Seattle backfield that doesn't receive a lot of publicity because the only guy back there that really does the running is Warner, but he's an excellent blocker.
A first down at the 25, a minute 37 to play in the opening period here, the season opener for both the Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. Again, look at
that gap between the linebackers and the defensive backs.
There's play action. That's a line. Fumble. Cleveland will have it. Scooped up. Al Gross. And Gross chased out of bounds by Dave Craig. Big turnover.
This just shows you how drastic a fumble can be, a turnover can be. Everything going the way of the Seahawks, just playing flawless football, and then you get a turnover like this. Now, Cleveland is in good field position. Let's see what happens. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sam Retigliano, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, possibly the most quotable head coach in the National Football League. Such statements as he could catch BBs with his eyes closed. He has a line for everybody. And there's Chuck Knox. He's still looking for offensive linemen with a lot of sand. And that means a lot of weight. He likes big men out in front of his offense. Michael Jackson, who was shaken up earlier, back in the ballgame as an outside linebacker for Seattle. Cleveland with the turnover opportunity at the Seattle 43, Mike Pruitt. So Mike Pruitt for a gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. Jacob Green making the tackle. The Cleveland Browns offensively, to me, Gene, have looked a little herky-jerky, but dangerous, like they can explode on you.
You're exactly right, because you look at the people they have out wide. Their receivers, Duriel Harris from Miami, still very quick, very fast. Ozzie Newsome. Mike Pruitt has gained 1,000 yards, 4 out of the last 5 years.
McDonald rolling right, turns back and throws to the left side. He is a left-handed passer. Harry Holt, first down.
Another dangerous player, Harry Holt. I saw Harry Holt play up in Canada when he played in the Canadian League. Outstanding player there. Came to the Browns, and he adds another dimension here. McDonald does a good job of setting up this tight end screen. And you can see how strong Harry Holt is. When they line up, sometimes they'll line up Harry Holt, Ozzie Newsome, and they'll bring in a third tight end and put him out wide. And when they do that, that's usually their run formation. And they like to bring those 3 big fellas in and just try to run it right down the middle.
And the first quarter of this special King 5 telecast for the Seahawk fans has come to a close. The score, after 1, Seattle leads it 7-0. Statistically, in the first quarter, the Seahawks just about doubled all of the Cleveland Browns stats. As you take a look at them, Kurt Warner 7 carries for 30 yards. Mike Pruitt for Cleveland 6 carries for 15. That's 2-1. And the score is 7-0. Craig completed 5 of 6 for 78 yards and a touchdown. McDonald 3 of 5 for 36 yards.
Safety blitz.
Ozzie Newsome. Newsome has 7 yards to the 22-yard line. It'll be second down and 3. Keith Butler with the tackle. Following today's game, we will be returning to the final hours of the Jerry Lewis Extra Special, the Labor Day Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Meanwhile, pledge numbers are appearing on your screen. You'll see the numbers for your area shortly if you're not already, so please give and give generously. A very special weekend always with the Jerry Lewis Extra Special. Mike Pruitt. And Pruitt picks up the first down. He has 7 yards to the 15-yard line.
I think what Sam Retigliano, the Cleveland coach, wants to accomplish here, certainly wants to score, but what he'd like to get some momentum going for his team. As you mentioned before, they seem to be herky-jerky. They want to get the flow going to get some confidence back because Seattle came out so strong and so fast. And they got the turnover, so now they're in great shape to do that.
And another thing, they want to keep their offense on the field for a while. Keep the explosive Seahawk offense on the bench. McDonald has time. That is not the fault of his offensive line. Jacob Green got him, along with Michael Jackson. He had time.
He must have had 4 or 5 seconds. He had plenty of time. He's sitting there. Give credit to the defensive backfield for the Seahawks. Good coverage that allowed for the sack.
A loss of 5, second and 15.
I'm sorry. They can't afford to do that many more times. The Seahawks can't give him that much time to throw the ball.
No. Newsome in motion. Here's the pressure, and he's pulled down. Joe Nash. 2 sacks in a row.
Well, we mentioned the problem that Cleveland was going to have because their right tackle, number 74, being on the left side of your screen. Paul Farron, who's a second-year man, filling in for Cody Reason. And there you see Joe Nash. Oh, he just beats the center. Goes right up the gut. That's Mike Babb, who's a good center. Big, strong guy, 6'4", 270. But Joe Nash just whipped him.
And Farron, because of that problem, has now been replaced by Ted Peterson. Third down and 22, almost out of field goal range. Incomplete. Duriel Harris ever so close to a touchdown. Terry Taylor had the coverage, but that was a catchable 6 points.
Duriel Harris, any player from Miami who was there when Paul Warfield was there, knows how to run a great corner route. Duriel Harris has Terry Taylor beat. If this ball is thrown another foot further, it's 6 points. Terry Taylor has great catch-up speed, and the fact that ball was thrown a little short allowed him to be able to get there and knock it away.
44-yard field goal attempt. And it is no good. Matt Barr missing from 44 yards away. So a close call for the Seahawks. We'll be back.
Weapon system.
The question is, should Duriel Harris have caught the ball in the end zone, or did Taylor have too good a coverage on it?
Well, I think you're right, and it's going to prove it right. It does hit him right on the shoulder, right there.
You're paid to catch those. Now, Taylor had good coverage on it, but you're paid to catch those.
Well,
you would have caught it.
Well, thank you for having so much confidence.
Hard to dispute that now, isn't it? All right, Seattle's ball. First down, their own 27-yard line. Third time that they have moved on offense in the ball game. First time they scored a touchdown. Second time, fumble, and they lost it. Won it. Big first down, 46-yard line. 19 yards. Chip Banks with a tackle.
What allowed this pass player, this little quick pass play to work so effectively is that the linebacker on the outside, Clay Matthews, had come in on the blitz. There you see him. He hits Craig as he throws the ball away. Matthews normally would be out in coverage in this area. Oh, look at that stop by Warner. Beautiful. But that's what allowed that play to be so effective, is that they caught Cleveland in a blitz, their outside linebacker coming in.
And also Craig read the blitz. David Hughes. He'll get about 3 or 4 on the play. Dave Craig so far has completed 6 of 7 for 97 yards and a touchdown. Could have been 7 of 7.
You think he got a little upset from last
making up for the game against the 49ers, yeah.
Couldn't be any better. He has been superb.
Number 10 is Jim Zorn. 2nd down and 6. 50-yard line. Seahawks lead 7-0. This is a special presentation of King 5 television for the Seahawks viewers. Play action break. No, he held on to it. I'm sorry. Metzelar. He reached out with his hands for it, and I didn't think he could do it with that kind of a catch, but he did. Good play.
Metzelar is a basketball player, a Wabash or something. I mean, they have those good hands. But Seattle, they're using...
It's not Wabash or something.
Or Wabash.
Okay.
Wabash or something. But the misdirection, again, play action. Those linebackers have to respect that run that allows the receivers to get out and get into their routes without having the linebackers jostling them around. And Seattle's using more plays, different plays than they use in the preseason. They're going into their bag of tricks.
Gain of 15, first down at the 35 of Cleveland. Metzelar's 3 receptions, 46 yards. Second back is Kurt Warner. A yard to the 34. Second down and 9, and Chip Banks is the man who made the stop. Nine minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the first half. The score, the Seahawks 7 and the Browns nothing, and Seattle on the move. A sellout crowd here in the Kingdom as Seattle goes after their first ever opening victory in the National Football League. They are 0-8 on opening game. Craig almost hit the ball, knocked out of his hand, picked it off in the air, scramble for 2 to the 32. It'll be 3rd down and 7. A good recovery reaction by Dave Craig.
Dave Craig is playing as good as anyone plays. He gets the pressure. That's Chip Banks coming from the top. Chip Banks reaches out and almost knocks the ball out of Craig's hands, but as you say, he recovers well, gets up, doesn't take a loss, gets back about the line of scrimmage. He is just playing super football, and I don't know who is responsible for this play calling, but it couldn't get any better.
3rd down and 7. 4 wide receivers. Largent in motion. Trying to backpedal to first down territory. Clay Matthews was hanging on him. Officials take a timeout, and we'll see the change coming out for the first time of the ballgame.
Seattle is taking advantage, and I mean really taking advantage of the fact that Cleveland is playing that zone defense and they're having their linebackers in there trying to cover those areas. First down. But there's no way a linebacker can cover a Steve Largent. Steve Largent can get in that area, in those zones with the linebackers, and he can just outmaneuver them. It's a mismatch, and the Seahawks are taking advantage of it.
Craig has completed 8 of 9, 119 yards. He has hit successfully his last 6 in a row. 25-yard line, first down. Moving on the 8-minute mark, time remaining first half. Has a blitz, gets it away, end zone, incomplete. Darrell Turner, the intended receiver. And Craig took punishment by Chip Banks. Ooh.
I'm a little surprised at this play. You wouldn't think they'd go for it, a long one down at this position. Oh, you saw the hit by Chip Banks.
Yeah.
The problem now, that ball again. Now that's a catchable ball. Now,
here's the hit.
Chip Banks coming from the left side. Oh, right in the ribs.
Now that's a catchable linebacker. Go ahead.
Now let me tell you the opposite of that. I mean, he should have caught it because he got his hands on it. The ball was supposed to be thrown inside. As a receiver, when you have to turn, you lose a flight of the ball and turn back to the other side. It does make it a little tough adjustment.
2nd and 10. Play action, rolling left. Complete. Philip Bryant. Out of bounds. 16-yard line. Gain of 9. 3rd down and 1. Clay Matthews was chasing it.
Without a Kurt Warner in your backfield, all of this play action wouldn't be possible, or at least without a runner of his caliber. Those two things go hand in hand. Remember the days of the Miami when they won the 17 in a row, when they had the running the zonkas and the kicks and the play action, then the warp. It's the same thing we have going here.
Third down 1. Warner breaks it down the sideline. 9 yards to the 7. First down, goal to go. Don Rogers saves a touchdown.
You think Chuck Knox made a wise decision by keeping Warner out last week and letting him be fresh? I think so, and I think this is a good example. Of course, he's a great runner, but it helps to have fresh legs, not have the bumps and bruises, come into this opening game and just be fresh and ready to go.
Kurt Warner in the first half, 7:44 remaining, 9 carries and 40 yards. First down, goal to go. Not a bad, tough yardage run, spinning to the 4-yard line. 2nd down, goal to go.
They are demoralizing Cleveland. I mentioned before, when you can run down the field, when you can just pound away, the opposition starts to doubt their own ability. They really start to doubt themselves when you are able to do that. Seattle can get 6 points here. They can run the ball in, especially get 6 points here. It's going to be tough for Cleveland. I mean, they are really behind it. Not just 14 points now, but psychologically way down.
2nd down, goal to go, 4-yard line. Kurt Warner, Cullen Bryant, the lead blocker. Cuts down 1 man. Warner, did he stumble and go down in a hamstring?
I think he's hurt. I think
he just collapsed, yes.
As soon as
he just dropped, and I didn't see him hit by
it was the AstroTurf. It was a turf. He was trying to get himself set up to make a cut, and he got his foot caught on the turf.
We're going to take an injury timeout. We'll come back in just a moment. All right, we are back. We're still trying to sort out exactly what happened to Kurt Warner. It looked at it, you know, I hate to project, but just watch him here in this shot, as if he stumbled or caught his foot on the AstroTurf.
There, that's when it happened. That's when it happened, I think. It's
right there. No, it was that step right there.
It's something that
it's something. Is it a hamstring that rolled up on him, an Achilles?
Well,
I mean, we don't know yet.
It's hard to say, but there have been a number of situations. Jerry Butler, the receiver for
this preliminary, this is not good. You have to say that. This is not good.
A similar thing happened to the outstanding wide receiver for the Bills, Jerry Butler. Was going downfield and just went down. No one touched him, but that AstroTurf, you mentioned before the cutting ability on this surface. Well, the other side, it's a double-edged sword.
Because it'll grab so well.
The friction is so great that grass will give, and you can make a cut and it'll give. And this won't. Well, he's walking.
He's walking. Zachary Dixon has replaced him. 5-yard line, 3rd down, goal to go. Incomplete. Largent, the intended receiver. Greg throwing it right at the back corner of the end zone. So if he couldn't catch it, it could not possibly be intercepted. Almost pulled it down one-handed. He did not. It'll be fourth down goal to go. The field goal team will come in.
They are taking Warner in. He's going into the locker room.
But he is walking. I mean, he's not being assisted. He's not going on a cart. He is limping, but he is walking. And that is great news right there. That picture alone, that is great news for Seahawk fans. Norm Johnson to attempt a field goal. Jim Zorn will be holding at the 12-yard line, an attempt of 22 yards. It's good. And the Seattle Seahawks stretch their margin over the Cleveland Browns. The score is 10-0. We'll be back with a kickoff. This is Charlie Joe's Gene Washington with his special King 5 telecast of the home opener for Seahawk viewers. Look at this. That's an amazing statistic. The Browns have not been penalized the Seahawks one time for 10 yards. Norm Johnson will be kicking off. Either Bruce Davis or Ernest Bynum. What the Seahawks have to guard against now is an emotional letdown because of the loss of Kurt Warner. Bruce Davis returning near the 20-yard line. I'm glad we got the graphic in when we did because the flag is down. Just barely made it with the graphic. Fred Young with the tackle.
And it's going to be holding. It was defensive holding against Cleveland. I saw the jersey come out.
So the penalties will now be one on each side.
But
that's still very few. Yes. But go ahead.
But such an important point that you just made. Well, listen for the call.
Holding number 58 on the return. First down.
The call against Scott Nicholas. They'll mark the ball at the Cleveland 11-yard line, and it'll be first down. Go ahead, Dean.
Seattle, when you have such a player as Kurt Warner taken out, whether it's an injury or whatever it is, comes out of the game, and is not likely to return, the possibility of a letdown can really hurt you. As you said, they now really have to make a conscious effort not to let that happen.
Mike Pruitt. 2, maybe 3 yards. Jacob Green with the tackle.
Paul Farron, who's back in there, is just no match for Jacob Green. They're not going to make a living running to that side behind a second-string tackle blocking against one of the best defensive ends in football. They're going to have to run the other way.
Farron is number 74. Now remember again, the quarterback is a left-handed thrower. So Farron has to guard his backside on a pass when he rolls out to the left. It is a knee injury. The knee is being x-rayed. Mike Pruitt.
Going to make much running left either.
Now that we've tried your suggestion, I suggest we throw. Pruitt, 9 carries, 24 yards rushing. Third down and 8 at the 13.
Evidently, Sam heard you. He's sending in 3 new wide receivers, or actually 1 tight end and 2 wide receivers.
If a knee being x-rayed could be called good news, I think it is. Because if it's an Achilles or a hamstring, that's a season. It could be a season. The knee, with the surgery, the scope surgery that they have now, could be much less. Could be out, could be 4 or 5 weeks. Green is stopped.
And to follow up on that, if they felt it were a serious knee injury, they certainly wouldn't let him walk off the field.
Yeah.
So if there's any damage, I think they'd probably be looking for cartilage or something like that. And with this orthoscopic surgery now, you can be back in a couple of weeks. It's happened.
So a small silver lining under a very dark cloud right now.
We hope.
We hope. The bottom line is we don't know what we're talking about.
But Chuck, you're drawing on that vast experience of having
25 years of watching them coach now. All right, Paul John set to return the punt of Steve Cobb. But as soon as we do know definitively, we of course will let you know. Not that good a catch. Taken to the 50-yard line by David Hughes. How's that? Easily. Hello.
Getting easily.
Finally caught at the 10. Chris Watkins makes the tackle. Listen to this ovation. 40-yard return.
I've said it before about Kenny Easley, an outstanding player. A player is outstanding because he comes up with big plays. An all-pro player will come up with big plays when you need them. The Seahawks need it now. They've lost Warner. They need a big play. It's easy to play well when everybody's playing well. But Kenny Easley has brought back that spark they needed, and he did it at the right time. Looks like a running back, doesn't it? Nifty running.
And now, let's address ourselves to the fact there's been a lot of columns in the newspaper written about the fact that this is his last year. He's going to finish his last year, may go somewhere else. This is the beginning of the season. This is the time for football. Zachary Dixon to the 6-yard line. It'll be second down. Tom Cousineau making the tackle. I'm not taking sides in what could be a contract dispute. But right now, we're in the National Football League season. What happens over the next 16 weeks as far as contracts and futures are concerned, that will be worked out between Kenny Easley, his agent, and management. Right now, we should concern ourselves, I believe, in the NFL football season.
And I can tell you from a player's experience, it's a very disconcerting thing to have going on when you're trying to prepare yourself to play. It's very disconcerting.
7-yard line, second down, 7. Good protection. Touchdown to Paul John.
Chuck Knox said he wanted some offensive linemen with sand. Well, I tell you, the lineman he already had must have found some. Look at the time that Craig has to throw the football. Paul John's coming across to the open area, 6 points. Offensive line is just playing superb. The entire Seahawks team is playing superb, but it all starts with that offensive line.
Norm Johnson with the extra point is there. The score, Seattle 17 and Cleveland nothing. And Kenny Easley set it up with his 40-yard punt return. Here's another look at the touchdown pass from Craig to Johns. Craig now has completed 10 of 13, 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. And don't forget that after the football game, Team 5 will rejoin the Jerry Lewis Extra Special in Las Vegas. And from our own studios here in Seattle, of course, for the final exciting hours of the annual Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Don't wait to call on your pledges. The numbers are appearing on your screens throughout the game, so please be generous.
Charlie, it's also, you know, it gives me a chance to say thanks to the people here at King for making this game possible, because ordinarily this would have been one of our NBC telecasts had it been yesterday.
That's right, and because of the movement today, and it's called turned back to the locals. They have a technical term. It's turned back to the local station. So this is a King telecast for the Seahawks fans. Norm Johnson kicking off. Biner and Davis deep for the Browns. 17-0. Seattle out in front. Fumble. Seahawks say they have it, and they do. Taylor makes the hit. Dufek was going for the ball. Fred Young was also there. When you're hot, you're hot.
Let's see who makes the hit. Oh.
Kaiser and Young. Oh, it's Young, yeah.
Fred Young.
And Dufek, we believe, came up with the fumble, with the recovery. Yes, that is correct. Seattle at the Cleveland 14-yard line just a few seconds ago. In fact, 9 seconds ago, they were at the 7-inch score. 17-0. Seahawks could blow it open right here. David Hughes. Flags are up in the air, pushing and shoving, and now we know regular season's here.
Well, this would be an injustice if they called a penalty against both sides on this play. one of the Cleveland players was actually jumping up and down on the back of a Seahawk player. Now, you're supposed to not respond, but there's no way you're not going to respond to a player who's jumping up and down on your back. I mean, this is a situation where it should just go against Cleveland. Forget penalties against both sides.
With offsetting penalties, that's just an easy way out. It is.
I don't know if it was awful. He was jumping, I mean, just jumping up and down on his back.
Let's see what Jerry McBride says.
We had 2 personal fouls after the ball was dead.
That's an easy way out, Jerry. You blew it.
You're right. That's a...
It really is. Yeah, let's look at it. Let's look at it.
On the right side of your screen is where it's after the play on the right side. Well, we followed the ball up. Let's see if it comes in. Well,
we don't have it.
We never see it over there. But it was just, I've never seen anything like that.
They took the easy way out. Interestingly enough, when we met in New York last week with Art McNally, the head of the officials, he said they were not going to do that. They were not going to take the easy way out. But they do. Second down on a 12-yard line. Largent is out of the contest right now. His back is tightened up. He may return. Play action. Intercepted. Lawrence Johnson with an excellent defensive play.
Well, the receiver was open early. Craig is a little late getting there, and I think as soon as he threw it, he wished he could pull it back.
Oh, but that's an excellent play.
No, it is, but he was in position to make the play. The tight end was open early. And when you get open, that ball has to be there because those zones are going to start to collapse.
So Cleveland will take over at their own 20-yard line following the touchback, the interception by Lawrence Johnson. They have a first down at their own 20-yard line. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the first half. Seattle leading it 17-0. McDonald throws. The pass is complete to Duriel Harris. 33-yard line, gain of 13, first down. Keith Simpson for the Seahawks.
Cleveland has some battle on their hands, not only the Seahawk players out there, but whenever you go to another person's home field and you get behind, I mean, it's really tough to overcome that. Just the psychological part of it. They have some battle on their hands.
McDonald. Flag will go down. That is pass interference. Good call. It is. Very catchable ball. Newsom was there. Hit from behind before the ball got there. The 27-yard penalty against Keith Simpson.
Watch Keith Simpson.
Oh,
yeah.
He did.
Too soon.
He did. And the coverage was so good, he really didn't need to do it. Seattle 40-yard line. So the Browns now have had a couple of breaks. The interception, the interference penalty, the ball at the Seahawks 40-yard line. Let's see if Cleveland can get back into the ball game. 2:13 left to go. First down. McDonald's pass is incomplete. He throws into a crowd, throws with confidence. Brian Brennan, the rookie, the intended receiver, but he's an impressive thrower.
I didn't like the throw.
I didn't like what he threw against defensively.
Yeah, no, the throw was, nice throw, but he throws it into a crowd, very dangerous. Look, 1, 2, 3 people around.
No, I meant the physical act of the throwing.
He's known for having a very strong arm. And people used to say that Brian Sipe had a gun. No way, no comparison. McDonald has a much stronger arm than Sipe has.
McDonald's completed 5 of 9 for 56 yards. Second and 10. Seattle 40. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Brian Brennan, the rookie from Boston College, taken in the 4th round of the draft.
Look at the look on McDonald. He's saying, what more do I have to do? You want me to throw it and catch it too? You have to feel sorry for a quarterback when his receivers are dropping balls like this. For a receiver, this is where you want to pass. You want the ball down where you don't have to jump for it. All you have to do is just cradle the ball. Don't have to jump, don't have to do anything.
3rd down and 10. 2:03 left to go first half. Seattle leading 17-0. Knocked away. We believe Jeff Bryant. Let's see if we can pick it up. Who knocked it down?
Well, it's Mike Fanning, number 74. In the middle, he and Joe Nash are crisscrossing. I think it's Nash that knocks it down. There it is, with the right hand.
And the 2-minute warning given to both pitchers. We'll take a timeout. It is Seattle 17 and Cleveland nothing. We come back now with officially 1 minute and 58 seconds left to go in the first half. Seattle leading 17-0. Matt Barr. Now, Matt Barr is not the normal punter. Steve Cox is the normal punter.
Maybe he's going to drop kick the field goal.
That's a possibility. Joe, that's a possibility. Now he comes off. And now Steve Cox, who is the normal punter, comes in.
Well, he's doing something with his shoe on the sideline. Steve Cox is.
But Steve was hiding over behind players. Then he went up, and now he's saying shoot.
Number 9.
Delay of game penalty.
4th down.
Well, that's a strange situation if I've ever seen one.
The only thing I can figure out is possibly they wanted to draw the delay of game penalty, and this was just a fancy way of doing it, so that Cox could drop the ball inside the 10-yard line rather than before maybe the 5 yards that he would have gone in the end zone automatically. That's the only thing I can get. This is Paul Johns. He's at the tip. I believe Terry Taylor.
Paul Moyer was in there. There were 2 players who got in there clean.
It was Fred Young.
Fred Young is all over the place. I mean, all over the place.
Have you noticed something? Since the injury to Kurt Warner, Ken Easley with the excellent return, Fred Young with a block punt. The rest of the team is taken over.
Rising to the occasion.
Cleveland 40-yard line, first down. 1:55 left, first half. Greg Stubble going back. Gets up. And he'll salvage about 6, maybe 7 yards.
Dave Craig, he stumbles on this AstroTurf. That's actually what happened here, but he has the presence of mind to be able to get up and turn what was going to be a loss into a gain. What they're really shooting for here is the 3 points. Cleveland is going to be in a zone defense. If you're going to throw underneath the coverage.
Now, Cullen Bryant, the ball was dropped at his feet. If the referee had so desired, he could have called him for intentionally granted because it was, and the referee was standing right behind him. I'm surprised that Jerry Martin-Bright did not call that.
Because
there was no question.
You're right. Because they talked about it again in our meetings, that if they feel the quarterback is intentionally trying to avoid a sack, then it's intentional grounding. And that was the case, obviously.
It was. I'm surprised that he didn't call.
I think Cleveland doesn't want to give up 6 points. I think they're going to play a conservative defense, zone. Seattle can throw underneath the coverage. I think they can pick up the first down if the line gives them time, and they can throw underneath the coverage.
They're down at 3. Zachary Dixon. You'll get a yard, if that. Clay Matthews with the tackle. 4th down and 2.
They're going for the field goal.
You bet.
Johnson coming in.
Now remember, the holder is Jim Zorn. It might be time for a fake.
And not a bad place and time to do it, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't leave Cleveland with a lot of time on the clock.
A 50-yard attempt. Timeout taken. There were 2 seconds of the 30-second clock. That's the reason for that timeout by Zorn.
You know what else happened? I heard them yelling from the sideline from Cleveland, watch the fake, watch the fake. Jim, it might have been on. He might have called timeout to go and say, hey, they're looking for it.
They're looking for it. They're looking for it. Now they'll kick it. Now you can't fake it now.
Too much time.
Yeah, once you take it, everybody's thought of it. You got to figure out, though, that if I could think of it,
but
the Cleveland Browns could think of it.
How many years have you been broadcasting AFL and AFC football?
For 25th year, my silver anniversary.
And I must congratulate you on the article that you wrote that appeared in the New York Times.
Oh, thank you.
And not a small article by chance.
No,
I mean,
it was nice of it.
That was a terrific article, and
it was about reminiscing about the early days of the American Football League. Yes, and it was a different world. It was. It was big fun versus big business. Then it was really just big fun. And a brand new start for football players, for coaches, for administrative staffs, and for broadcasters. So it was a big part of my life, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, you've seen not only a big change in football, but a big change in broadcasting.
Oh, yes. We had 3 black and white cameras, and I don't think videotape had been invented. And Gene Washington had barely been born. Did I hear the 50-yard field goal attempt by Norm Johnson? They can make it. It does. Kurt Warner injured. Everybody is picking up the slack.
When it rains, it pours. When it's going in the right direction. And this doesn't make it by far. This is a long kick. And look at that, right down the middle. Ooh. Dead center. And as you said, everyone has rallied around and they picked. You know, I get the feeling that the Seattle team is so just so fired up, so ready for this game, and that it would take a Raider super performance to beat them. It appears like they could beat anybody today.
I think the key word is what you said, this Seattle team. They're truly playing as a team, all facets, offense, defense, special teams, return, field goal. It's all been there. Every element has been there. Very impressive opening. We still await word on the injury, Kurt Warner, in case you joined the telecast late. It is a knee injury. They're x-raying the knees. He did walk off the field. That's the difference. If in that you can find a bright spot of good news. Charles White on the kickoff return, the short kickoff return, 34-yard line. That's just to kind of disrupt any type of major return by the Browns. Sam Merriman makes the tackle. 20 seconds left to go in the first half. You can paint the first half white, blue, and green, the colors of the Seahawks.
Oh.
The Seattle wave is rolled over the Cleveland Browns in the first 2 periods of this ball game.
Do you go for a draw play or the big Ben?
I go for the big one.
Big Ben.
The big one.
Why not?
Incomplete. Duriel Harris, the intended receiver, and John Harris, along with Terry Taylor, had the coverage. 13 seconds left to go first half. Second down and 10, Cleveland back at their own 34-yard line.
If you're playing sandlot football, but it has happened in the NFL. Good play in this situation. Take your wide receiver, run him about 10, 12 yards down, throw him the ball, and then he laterals to your halfback. You probably had that play.
I had it, yes, I had it in junior high school, but I also saw Miami run it against San Diego in that great game 2 or 3 years ago. Ricky Feature, 49-yard line, first down. Brown stopped the clock now with 4 seconds left in the first half. And did you know?
By placing that player in a formation or in an alignment in which he can get down quickly and have an opportunity to give you a big play. Now, without that kind of player on the football field, the Browns have to do it very painstakingly. They have to look for the 15 and 20-yard catch, and they can't get it all in one play.
Reggie, the Browns have had that rap for a couple of years. They have not had the guy who can really streak deep. Why, year in and year out, is this ball club absent that one entity?
Well, because of they've tried to locate and utilize players who have great speed, and it hasn't worked out, Phil. They have a Bruce Davis, a young man who has world-class speed, and it just hasn't worked out. They drafted Ron Brown a year ago. He won a gold medal this year. It didn't work out with him. They've had some misfortune.
Well put. First down and 10 from the 4 with 4 seconds to play. Last play of the first half coming up. McDonald will flood a zone here, and he's airing it out deep. Up in the air, it is picked off at the 5-yard line. Picked off by number 22, Dave Brown, the wily veteran out of Michigan Wolverine Company. And that is the last play of the first half here at the Seattle Kingdome. 20-0 Seahawks.
Back with the kickoff of the second half. Zachary Dixon for the Seahawks to the 20. Slips a tackle. Good return to the 26, maybe the 27-yard line. Let's look at the statistics of the first half. Time of possession, a little to Seattle side. Turnovers even. Passing 10 of 15 for Craig, 6 of 14 for McDonald. Total yardage, almost 2-1.
Okay, we got one.
Offensively, Dave Gregg, the quarterback, Dixon and Hughes are the 2 running backs, and now Dixon goes out to the far side. And the Seahawks with 3 tight ends in this opening set: Charlie Young, Pete Metzelaars, and Mike Todd. First down, 26-yard line. David Hughes. 4 yards to the 30. It'll be second down and 6. Tom Cousineau with the tackle. Offensive line should stay the same. Ron Essing, Reggie McKenzie, Blair Bush, Robert Pratt, Steve August. Steve Largent still is having some back spasms. Could return. Now Paul Johns, Gerald Turner, the wide receiver. Charlie Young, one of the tight ends, comes out. Second down and 6. David Hughes. 34-yard line. Third down and 2. We have a report on Kurt Warner. Just hand it to me. You will discover it as soon as I do. Warner will not return. Will undergo further examination. That's not a report.
Yeah, that's...
Will undergo further examination. That's all that we do know at this time. We do have a report, though, that Largent, with that back problem of his, he will not return. And that's he has periodically has back spasms. That's bothered the last few years of his career. Warner will not return, will undergo further examination. Zachary Dixon. 35-yard line.
Short of the first down.
He'll be short by about a yard. So Largent in this game, 2 receptions for 17 yards. His consecutive game receiving streak continues now at 92 games. Kurt Warner went down with what is expected to be a knee problem. They were x-raying the knee. That's all that we know. 10 carries and 40 yards. And the rest of the team has picked up the slack.
Thank goodness they have, because you look at in the receiving corps, who is your number 1 player? Largent out of the game. Warner out of the game. I mean, they're really playing with 2 of their 3 star players on offense missing. Or Dave Craig being the 3rd.
Your impact player.
Your impact players.
Jeff West will be kicking to number 86, Brian Brennan. Impact players, they make things happen. This is a beautiful play. Fair catch call for at the 24-yard line. 42 yards on the catch. And so for the first time in the second half, Cleveland will move on offense. Paul McDonald, the quarterback. Mike Pruitt, the ace back, the single back that they will be running. They'll set up with 2 tight ends. They'll go with Deacon Jackson, Bab Delamalure. Paul Farron has been the right tackle, been spelled some by Ted Peterson. And it is Farron who is in there. Now we have another report. Possibility now that Largent may return. Here's Mike Pruitt. Bruce Schultz with the tackle. 29-yard line, gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5. If you'll recall, at the end of the first half, we did not see Mike Pruitt in the offensive set for the Cleveland Browns. Basically, you could relate him to a John Riggin. When there's a possibility of a running game, he will be in there, and he carries such as here. And he is met and stopped. But once you get to the end of a half, where you know everybody's going to pass, he's going to come out and they'll cover him with a receiver or with Boyce Green, who is a better receiver than he is. Jeff Bryant leading the defense at the 30-yard line. It's third down and 4. Pruitt, 11 carries. He's been held to 29 yards in 11 carries.
It's not often that he is held under 100. As I mentioned before, in the last 5 years, he's gone over 1,000 yards in 4 of those 5 years.
Ozzie Newsome in motion.
Here comes a blitz.
Newsome, the pass behind him almost made the catch. Kenny Easley had the coverage. It will be fourth down and 4. The blitz forcing McDonald to throw too soon.
You know, I like the way that Seattle is playing defense. They seem to be taking a few more chances than they did in preseason. Maybe that's intentional. In a passing situation, coming with a blitz, even they don't get the sack, what they do is, as you said, they force McDonald to throw the ball before he wanted to. Ozzie Newsome was in good shape, and if McDonald had the time, I think they would have had a completion. But he had to get rid of it. That's what they call those things a pressure. So they got a pressure.
Steve Cox kicking to Paul John. 11:06, time remaining. We're in the third quarter. Seahawks out in front. 20-0. Terrible kick out at the 40-yard line. Seattle with great field position. 30 yards on the kick. And a discussion.
And you know what makes it so bad? Because he had one blocked before. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, I enjoy the sign. I think it's nice, and that it spells King, K-I-N-G down, and it's K5, and that. But Gene is getting top billing alphabetically. Alphabetically, it should be Charlie and Gene.
But then it would say Keek TV.
No, we could say K-I. We could go with my last name, Jones J, K-I-N-J, and I could pronounce it as a G. I wouldn't have mind. Like Seattle for their own 40. Thank you for the sign. Craig throws, far side. It's there. Paul John. He's right at the marker for the first down. Now, the chains are on this side of the field. That's a marker on the other side. And it's a first down.
Dave Craig is throwing the football with no hesitation. He's playing a position with lots of authority. He's not coming back and, you know, sometimes you can sense when a quarterback is tentative. Yeah. There's none of that with Dave Craig. Everything is intentional, deliberate.
A gain of 11 to the Cleveland 49, first down. Little stutter step left, Dave Hughes comes right. 2 yards to the 47, Eddie Johnson brings him down.
Reggie McKenzie took himself out of the game. He got a little banged up on that last play.
And number 65, Edwin Bailey, replaces him.
There you see Reggie with the trainer in the white on the side. I think that might be a cramp. He looks as though he's trying to work out a cramp in his leg.
Second and 8. Stutter step right, he comes left, and Hughes is smothered at the 50-yard line. He'll lose 3. Third down
Seattle they'll be throwing.
What's happening now is that Cleveland is saying, we're going to stop your run. They're bringing their linebackers, they're lining up close to the line of scrimmage, they're starting to blitz. They're forcing Seattle to throw the ball. It's the same thing the Raiders did to the Redskins in the Super Bowl. They said, look, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us throwing the ball. Now that Warner's out of the game, they're going to force Seattle to put the ball in the air because they're not as afraid now of having the back break it on them.
Easier, Reggie Camp is the last tackle, easier to take the run away from Seattle when Kurt Warner is not in there. From the shotgun, a four-man rush for the Browns. Incomplete. Darrell Turner, did he just miss the reception? Looked like he jumped up, everything, and the ball just kept on going. I wonder what happened.
I'm at a loss of words for that one. I don't know. I mean, he missed it.
I mean,
clean. I mean, he didn't even deflect it.
That's right. Jeff West will be kicking. Ryan Brennan deep for the return. Brennan fields it at the 19. And he'll get about 8 yards on the return. 31-yard punt. Sam Merriman with the tackle. We'll take a timeout. 9:16 left to go in the third. Seahawks lead it 20-0.
8-yard return.
This is Charlie Jones, Gene Washington, home opener for the Seattle Seahawks as they officially open the 1984 regular season, hosting the Cleveland Browns. Now, Seattle will be at home next week against San Diego here in the Kingdom. And Cleveland will be on the road again on the West Coast, albeit they're going back to Cleveland and then coming back to the West Coast. I'm surprised about that. And they will be playing in Anaheim, the Los Angeles Rams. Cleveland, first down, their own 27-yard line. Ozzie Newsome in motion. McDonald back to throw. Has pressure, and it is low to Boyce Green. Incomplete. Second down and 10, 27-yard line. Defensively, you have to figure that Cleveland's going to throw most of the time because they need to get some scores on the board and they need to get them on in a hurry.
Right, to get back into the game.
Emotionally as well as the score.
The thing that surprises me, though, is that I don't get the feeling that Paul McDonald feels all that comfortable with his receivers. They seem to be just off a little bit, and that's what happens when people are not familiar with one another. The timing is just too off.
He's completed only 6 of 16 for 71 yards. Harry Holt, the intended receiver, it's incomplete. Kenny Easley with the coverage. Cleveland will have a 3rd and 10. They have yet to convert on a 3rd down situation in the ballgame. The Browns do not look like a contending team.
They don't.
They don't look like they were 9-7 last year. They do not look like a 9-7 team.
But when they were 9-7, Pruitt was running the ball well. They were establishing themselves with the run, much like what Seattle did earlier, coming off play action. They don't have that going for them.
Seattle with 8 men in the secondary. They rush 3. There's nobody to throw to unless they wear a blue jersey.
Interception.
John Harris. With the tip and the interception and an 11-yard return. Don Dupek, a fumble recovery. Fred Young, a block punt. Dave Brown, and now John Harris with interceptions. And all kinds of excitement.
And it starts with a high throw for McDonald. This ball to feature is too high. Batted up in the air. John Harris is going to get it just before it hits the turf. Comes up with an interception. Another big turnover for Seattle. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sam Rutigliano, head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He has to be very dejected at this time.
Oh, boy. Seattle is playing. I mean, they're playing like world beaters.
As if they expect to win, which is the key. One of the keys. And they want more. should have had it, and he didn't.
I think there have been more dropped passes in this game than even in the exhibition game.
A very catchable ball.
Easy.
Extremely catchable.
Right, sure.
Yeah. One thing we haven't addressed ourselves to is during the offseason, the Seahawks felt one of their prime concerns would be to improve the defense. Now, with 8 minutes and 51 seconds after going to the third, they've shut out a very good Cleveland Brown team, a good Cleveland Brown team coming into the ballgame. Now, maybe they haven't looked that good because of the defense of Seattle, but the Seahawks defense has been almost flawless. Incomplete. Darrell Turner, the intended receiver. Don Rogers with the coverage. There was a little stutter still. I thought maybe he was pushed or tripped. But the flag didn't go down. What happened?
Now, this is the first mistake that Dave Craig has made all afternoon. This is a problem he had. He zeroes in on his receiver, and he's not watching the field. Don Rogers almost came up with an interception. You see the good shape that Rogers is in?
Yes.
Craig was looking at number 48. He wasn't looking at Rogers. And that's the mistake he made in San Francisco when he had all the interceptions. First mistake he's made today, not being aware of all of the defense and just zeroing in on his receiver.
Third down and 10. It's complete, but it will be way shy.
There's a flag down
at the 25-yard line.
And the Seattle players are saying it's against Cleveland. They're claiming either a chuck, illegal chuck downfield, or holding.
But I had the impression on that play. Here's Jerry Markbright.
Well, he's going to consult with whoever.
Dan Dornick was the receiver on the last play.
But it was one of the wide receivers, I think, running down the middle of the field.
It's an illegal chuck.
Illegal chuck.
You only get 5 yards. The defense can only bump you within the first 5 yards. And once you pass that, they can't bump you again.
Illegal contact foul. Number 29, defense, automatic first down.
That's it. Hanford Dixon, cornerback for Cleveland. He chucked one of the Seattle receivers after they'd gone beyond 5 yards.
A first down for the Seahawks when their offense was sputtering.
It's a good break for the Seahawks.
There's an old statement that it's not the number of penalties, it is when they happen. When they happen, and this points that cliche out. Little swing screen to the left side to Dixon. For Dixon, no relation, moves up to make the tackle. Interesting, though, that the Cleveland defense playing entirely different now that Kurt Warner's out of the ballgame. Entirely different, much more aggressive.
It's little things. Not to take anything away from Zachary Dixon, but Kurt Warner is not likely to be brought down by one man in the open field. So as a defender, what goes through your mind is when you're about to tackle a Kurt Warner, you're one-on-one, you're thinking, he's going to beat me. You become more tentative as a defensive player. But when you have Zachary Dixon there, you're much more positive and you go make the tackle.
Second and 10, 35-yard line of Cleveland. A timing pattern to judge, that has a question mark.
Well, I think it was a matter of a broken pattern. I don't think that Paul Johns was running the pattern that Dave Craig thought he was going to run. Because Craig throws 3 steps and throws a ball. He's expecting a quick out. Paul Johns is not. When I say quick out, that's a pattern where you run down about 5-6 yards and you just go right out. That's what the quarterback was expecting.
And you're looking all the way.
Well, after about your 3rd step, you start to look.
Johns was running a hook inside, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Third down 10. He was hit just as he released the ball. Craig was the flag down on the far side. Darrell Turner, the receiver, the intended receiver.
But you know, Charlie, this is a tough situation for a defensive back because that ball came out of there like a dead duck, and you don't know as a defensive back if the ball has been tipped or not. If it's tipped, it's live. it's anybody's ball. But the reason it's floating so much is because Craig's arm was hit.
Got there too soon.
That's
way
he,
too soon.
He got there too soon.
Pass interference, number 48, defense, first down.
Called on Lawrence Johnson.
And that puts a defensive back in an awkward situation. He just doesn't know. You know, you're so accustomed as a defensive player, if you get a sense of that ball is floating out there, you think maybe it was tipped. You don't know. It's tough.
Twice in this drive on 3rd down and 10, the Browns have had a penalty with that carried with it an automatic first down. First down at the 23-yard line. Cleveland territory. Just over 7.5 minutes left to go in the third. Dixon. We'll give him 5 to the 18, marking 2nd down and 5. Don Rogers with the tackle for the Cleveland Browns. Now Darrell Turner comes in.
Notice that Seattle is going more this second half with 2 tight end offense because that is a better formation to run from. And when you have Kurt Warner out of there, you need that additional blocking ability that 2 tight end offense provides you.
Cullen Bryant in motion. Craig stumbles as he steps away from the center. That's the second time that he has stumbled in the ballgame. This is the first time that he went down.
Sometimes that happens if a guard or a center steps back a little early and you get your feet tangled. But on AstroTurf, there's always that possibility of just getting your shoes caught.
It does. It'll grab. It'll grab.
It grabs, yeah, so quickly.
Loss of 5, 3rd down and 10. Total tickets for today's ball game, 64,906. Total attendance in-house, 59,540. So we have just over 5,000 no-shows on this Labor Day. 3rd down and 10.
Oh, he's open.
It's there. It's going to be lonely for Byron Walker.
He's suffering from shock. He was so wide open. I mean, he has a man beat. He's got 3 steps on him. I'm saying this is 6 points. Oh. How many dropped balls is that today? Right in the hands.
Has to be
5?
5 or 6. 5 or 6 in that neighborhood. 41-yard field goal attempt by Norm Johnson. From 41 yards. And the Seattle Seahawks are out in front of the Cleveland Browns by a score of 23-0 with 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third.
Even though they didn't get the 6 points, they had the touchdown and Byron Walker missed it. That field goal is key because now Cleveland needs 3 touchdowns. They would need 3 touchdowns in order to get back, whereas, 3 touchdowns before would have put them ahead. Now they need 3 touchdowns and another score. So that 3 points is very, very important.
The reaction of a kicker. Very casual, I guess, when you hit your 3rd one of the game. You expect to. 6 minutes and 12 seconds left to go, third. Seattle Seahawks 23 and Cleveland nothing. I'm not surprised that Seattle is leading. I'm not surprised that they have a reasonably large lead. What I am surprised is Cleveland shut out Cleveland.
Well, I'm surprised that they have a large lead because if you look at the people around the league and how they projected things would go, Cleveland was rated at the top in their
Central Division.
The Central Division. I mean, they expect a lot of things from this team.
Well, they haven't got it today. Norm Johnson kicking off. Bruce Davis from the 2 to the 10, 15. And wrapped up by Fred Young. He's been everywhere. Number 3 draft choice out of New Mexico State.
If you ever give a game ball for special team play, Fred Young has earned his first one today. He has just been a phenom.
Here's Bruce Davis as he comes back. And look what awaits him. Oh.
Now body slam.
McDonald throws. Oh, it's almost intercepted. Kenny easily almost had it. Newsom was looking over one shoulder. The pass was over the other. I'm not sure that Newsom saw it. He may have looked too late.
He didn't. What's happening to Cleveland now is that they're falling apart. I mean, they're not on the same page at all.
Yeah.
Things like this should happen in the first preseason game, not when the regular season is about to start. What happens is that, well, look, Easley almost comes up with it. McDonald should never have thrown this ball, and he threw it sooner than Newsom expected it. As a receiver, when you're running downfield and you start to make a break and you see you're covered, you don't expect the ball to come to you. Try to get open.
McDonald's last 11 passes, he's completed only one. Fumble. Seattle has it. Joe Nash. Now McDonald, last 12 times to throw. 1 completion, 8 incompletions, 2 interceptions, a sack in this fumble. Well, I would say bring in Tom Flynn.
I was about to say the same thing. Now's the time to bring him out because it's gotten to the point to where they have to make some change. I think he's probably down on himself so much now that it can't help the team. Good thing for Seattle.
At the Cleveland 7-yard line, first down, goal to go. Play action. There's a crowd, incomplete. Mike Tice, the intended receiver. It'll be second down, goal to go. Don Rogers was the key man there for the Browns, but he had 2 teammates with him.
That's the same play they scored on before. You know, it doesn't take a defense many times to figure out, hey, you beat me on that one. You're not going to get me.
You can beat me, but not on that one.
Not on that one, no.
That's right.
We'll watch from the end zone. They did a pretty good job of holding, by the way, too. The officials, I think, missed that one. Someone had a hold of Tice's jersey early.
The Seahawks defense, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, a block punt. Second and goal to go. Incomplete. Tice again, the intended receiver.
Charlie, the difference now is that Cleveland is not as afraid of the run. They're not responding to play-action fakes as well. The reason Kurt Warner's not in there. It's a completely different situation now.
And in case you joined us late, Kurt Warner injured in the first half. First report was that the knee was to be x-rayed. He did walk off of into the locker room by himself. The second report was that he needed further examination. That's all the information we have now. Third down, goal to go, 7-yard line. Dan Dornick. Had a struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage.
With Chip Banks is out there, there are not many players around who are going to get around Mr. Banks.
And Clay Matthews, is that Clay? Yes, 57 is mouthing off.
And people wonder why USC had good football teams. Chip Banks, Clay Matthews.
Oh, yeah. 23-0. Norm Johnson tried to make 4 out of 4. This run from the 14 and attempted 24 yards. It's good. The Seahawks now lead 26-0 with 5:35 left to go, and we're still in the third quarter. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. This is Charlie Jones, Gene Washington. 5:35 left to go, third quarter. Kingdom, Seattle 26, Cleveland nothing. Owen Johnson kicking off with Bruce Davis and Ernest Biner set for the return. Owen Johnson has just tied the club record with 4 field goals in one ball game. Here's Biner at the 5. To the 19-yard line. A flag dropped back at the 32-yard line. And we are having tippers clearing. We had offsetting personal fouls in the first half, which was a missed call by the officials. And remember, while all of this was going on, there was a flag dropped back at the 32. And the officials are going, this game could get out of hand in a hurry. Because the last time you saw Clay Matthews and Chip Banks, and they were coming back and mouthing off to the offense of the Seahawks. I'm not saying that anyone's at fault. The Seahawks could be mouthing off to them and just hadn't been picked up at it. But we're getting to that point in a heated battle that the officials of the National Football League had better take control. And I know one of the officials on the plane last night was watching this game, and he has to agree.
Number 36 was offside. Kicking team declined. We have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on number 26. Kicking team. They'll kick off from the 20-yard line.
So they're calling unnecessary roughness against the Seahawks.
I think he called it against Terry Taylor. Did he say 20 for the kicking team?
I thought 20.
Did he say
26.
26? Is there a 26?
I'm not sure. They don't have a 26.
He made a mistake.
Yeah, he did say it was 26. So Jerry McBride really not having that good a ball game.
But you're right. If they every time they get in a scuffle, if they're going to call, on both sides.
That's right. It doesn't solve anything.
Exactly.
Because hey, I can get away with it. He's going to hit me back. We do it, and nothing happens. Here comes the wave. And everybody kind of settling in and awaiting the next firework. Frustrated offensively and defensively by Seattle.
Well, I think Cleveland obviously came into this game with very high expectations of their own, and no one more than Paul McDonald. I think obviously they're very disappointed.
Biner takes it at the 23. And he is down at the 38-yard line.
15-yard kickoff return. Shelton Robinson on the stop for Sam Berryman.
And McDonald stays in at quarterback. I thought that we might see Tom Fleck, third-year man from the University of Washington.
I did too. I think
change.
For the team's
sake. Not because they're out of it, just to try and change, get anything going.
But what they're doing is one way to avoid a quarterback controversy back in Cleveland.
Almost intercepted by Keith Spencer.
That might be it. That might be it. Time for the manager to come out of the bullpen. Thing that a coach hates more than anything is for press, writers, broadcasters to talk about who's going to be quarterback next week. But there does come a time when you have to make a change for the sake of the other players. Everyone's
for the sake of this game. You can decide. You can decide about next week. Total yards 214 to 84. It is time for a check. Second and 10. Third and 10. Duriel Harris, intended receiver.
Now, a receiver. What happens to a receiver? Duriel Harris, experience, played in Miami. When you're running your routes and you're doing your job and you've learned and the ball's not there, the tendency is to start to cut your route short. You say the quarterback's not getting enough time, maybe I have to cut my route short. The only thing that you accomplish is that you compound the problem. You only make it worse, but that is a tendency. Other people try to make adjustments, and it just makes a bad problem worse.
Third down and 10. Blitz sack. Mike Fanning got it. And Fanning injured on the play. Steve Cox, the kicker, is already in.
It looks like maybe an ankle problem. They're taking his shoe off.
Here's a program note. Following today's game, we will be returning to the final hours of the Jerry Lewis Extra Special, the Labor Day Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. Meanwhile, pledge numbers are appearing on your screen. You'll see the number for your area shortly. If you've not already done it, write that number down when it comes by, because it will be coming by again in case you want to pencil and paper now. But give if you can. The Labor Day Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. We will be returning to the telethon after the football game.
They're taking the tape off of Mike Fanning's ankle. They took the shoe off, cutting the tape off. It obviously is a problem with his ankle. I've never seen more situations where the turf has had such an effect as today. It was interesting because as I was looking down on the field, one of the officials was running off and fell. I've never seen this many incidents. It happened. Craig has fallen down a couple of times on it. Of course, with Warner being injured.
Mike Fanning being helped from the field of play. Yards passing, Cleveland 41 total. Seattle 140. 41. Paul Johns is the deep back for the Seahawks. Easley and Jackson are the two up back. A loss of 8 on that last sack, back to the 30-yard line. This one to the 47-yard line.
I'm getting the feeling that Kenny Easley likes returning these punts.
Yes.
Nifty running.
Now he
almost
stumbled
on the turf again.
He caught his toe and stumbled on the turf. 33 yards of the punt, a 17-yard return by Kenny Easley.
Usually you see that happen when you put in a new surface, but to my knowledge, this isn't a new surface. I don't really quite understand why there's been so much tripping.
Seattle at the Cleveland 47-yard line, first down. Just over 4.5 minutes left to go in the third, and Seattle leads 26-0. Zachary Dixon. 4 yards to the 43, second and 6, and Don Rogers makes the stop. Also there. I will say this. That number 20, the free safety, Don Rogers, rookie, #1 draft choice out of UCLA. Very active. He does sting you. And he's all over the field.
Well, Reggie Rucker, who played at Cleveland and who's upstairs doing the telecast back to Cleveland, said that Don Rogers reminds him a lot of Jack Tatum in the way he can intimidate people. And Jack Tatum did intimidate a lot of folks.
Second down set. Dixon. You'll have about 5. Should be third down and 1. Bob Golick with the tackle.
Near the first down.
Cleveland has yet to convert a third down opportunity, while Seattle has converted 5 of 11, but have not converted one in their last 6 opportunities. So they converted their first 5, and they haven't done one since then. Today's broadcast is for the private use of the audience. Any reuse of this program without the express written permission of the Seattle Seahawks is strictly prohibited. Third down and a yard. First down. And Zachary Dixon got it to the 34. Don Rogers again with a tackle.
I don't know if the players have new shoes. I don't know if we have a replay of that or not. But Craig almost fell again. Coming out, a simple handoff, he stumbled again. It's a weird watch. Let's see. Look, I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this many cases of players stumbling on the turf.
Could it be new shoes? Is that?
It could happen with new shoes. That's a possibility.
Quarterback comparison. There is no comparison today. First down, Seattle. Zachary Dixon, 7 carries, 22 yards. Craig going deep, one-on-one. It's there. Daryl Turner, his first NFL touchdown.
Coming with the blitz. Dave Craig threw a beautiful pass. He threw it up there and he just let Turner run under it. And Lawrence Johnson is not a slow defensive back. He was won the sprinting in his college division, and I think he's wondering, where did this guy come from? Daryl Turner goes in for 6 points.
32-0. Here's the extra point attempt. It's good. 33-0. Dave Craig now 14 of 26, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. A 47-yard drive in 4 plays, and a 34-yard touchdown pass to Daryl Turner. This is a legal spike, and I'll bring that back up now. He'll be sorry that he did it. He'll be sorry that he spiked the ball.
He will be?
Yes. He already is, even as we speak.
Even as we speak.
Would you like to know why?
No, you did say it was illegal.
Illegal spike.
It is legal.
Yeah, but I'll come to that. But you know why he's sorry that he did it?
Because he wanted...
You almost had it.
Hang on to that first one.
You're right.
Well, I gave you the time. You bounced around it, yeah. But, you know, the man that scores the touchdown, an emotional reaction, you can't come back and spike. But no high five. And don't spike it over the goalpost. As long as you're not premeditating. That's right. Dave Craig now has complete passes to 9 different receivers today in the season opener. Kind of share the wealth for the Seahawks. 33-0, 2:19 left to go in the third. Johnson kicking off. Picked him on the back and injected the 10-yard line. A report on Mike Fanning, who hurt his ankle. It just says injured right ankle, doubtful if he will return. So we don't know any more than that.
It didn't take him that long to retape his ankle. He's not coming back. Y'all once had a coach that said, if you ever get a team down, don't let them up.
That's right.
Don't start to take it easy. Don't relax.
McDonald still the quarterback. Almost intercepted. Ozzie Newsom, the intended receiver. Kenny Easley, he's been close to about 3 now. He's had 2 excellent punt returns and close to 3 interceptions. It'll be second down and 10.
I still don't understand. I just don't understand what's going on with this Cleveland passing offense. McDonald is throwing passes that he should never have thrown. And I don't know what Sam Rutigliano is saying. Let him stay in there and just work his way out of this. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's bad getting worse.
McDonald has completed one of his last 14 attempts. And he's a left-hander. That's the turnaround.
That's going to be...
The pass is complete to Duriel Harris, provided Harris stayed in bounds throughout his route. Is that what you were going to say?
No, what I was going to say, they were going to call a flag on Joe Nash for roughing the quarterback. Because he gave him a shot after he threw the ball, but evidently the officials decided that his momentum was carrying him. Let's watch on the left side of the screen.
Well, and also he was way out of the pocket of the road.
Well, he still, let's see, throws, then
question, though, once he gets at a certain point, he becomes a runner. Once he gets that far outside the pocket. Mike Pruitt carries just to change the pace of running game. 49-yard line of Seattle. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
If Seattle can record a shutout today, it would be the only one. Yesterday there were none. No shutouts yesterday.
You've been talking to Lou Gellos, haven't you? You didn't come up with...
How did you know that?
How did you? Lou is on top of those things. I know. I worked with him. Jacob Green with a running start. That'll be a 1st down.
Well, since you mentioned it, Lou has also informed me that the biggest margin of victory yesterday was San Diego over Minnesota.
What was that margin?
42-13. And what a good team San Diego is.
Number 79.
29 points.
1st down.
However many points it is, San Diego is red hot.
Oh, yeah.
They are red hot. We'll be here next Sunday.
But they have a problem. San Diego's a problem with Kellen Winslow.
Oh, he said he's going to retire.
That's not if they don't renegotiate. He's on a cruise in the Caribbean as of next Friday. That's what he said. Seattle 44, 1st down Cleveland. McDonald over the middle. Pass is complete to Ricky Feature. Dropped in his tracks.
Charlie, now, a quarterback in this situation, and maybe what Sam Rutigliano is saying, okay, you can't get any worse. If you pull him out now you have the confidence factor to deal with next week. Can't get any worse. Stay in there, try to get some success, so next week you can just say, this was a fluke, forget about it, and go on. Maybe that's their reasoning for not bringing somebody.
Could be. Picked off. Dave Brown for the defense, Duriel Harris for the offense. Rutigliano may be saying something else. He may be saying, McDonald, you're our quarterback. We're going to win with you. We're going to lose with you. And everybody better understand it because that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know.
And everybody. I think that's a key word.
Everybody.
Your offensive lineman, your defensive back, everybody.
Your special teams, your backup quarterback, everybody.
Yeah.
This is the way it is.
That's right. That's a good point.
Now,
that's a good
figure
point.
it out because we've got 15 more games to go after this one.
That's a good point.
2nd and 10. 33-yard line of Seattle. 8 seconds left to go in the 3rd.
Here comes a blitz.
And he got it. Jeff Bryant and Joe Nash.
The Seahawks brought everyone on that one except the water boy.
Their 5th sack.
Watch 35. Dupek, he comes on the blitz from the left side. Terry Jackson coming from the left side just goes by. Forces McDonald up in the middle, and that's when everybody else grabs a hold.
And with that play, the 3rd quarter comes to a close. After 3, it's Seattle 33, Cleveland nothing. This is Charlie Jones, Gene Washington, and the special King 5 telecast of the 1984 NFL opener for the Seahawks here in the Kingdom. A look at the statistics. 2 3/4 all ballast way to the Seahawks side. 3rd down, 15. Tipped, incomplete. Cleveland now has had in this ball game 9 3rd down opportunities. They have not converted one single solitary one. Let's go back. We'll look at those statistics again. You didn't really get a chance to look at them.
But they don't really tell the tale. I mean, the game is so imbalanced.
Even more so. The statistics are about 2-1. The game even more so. 33-0. Why not? 4th down, 15. Go for it. Incomplete. Dave Brown knocked it away.
Now, I can tell you as a former receiver what plays like that do for your passing game.
What do they do for your passing game?
The receivers go back to the quarterback.
I feel like a straight man.
What do they do? How? The receivers go back to the quarterback and they say, look, I mean, sure, we're down, we're trailing, but don't put me in situations where I'm likely to get hurt. Yeah. If you're having a bad game, I mean, I'm sorry.
Go deep, go fly, go long, where I've got a shot at it. I've got a chance at it. And don't pull me in over the middle. From center. Seattle retains possession, a loss of 3 to the 35. It'll be 2nd down, 13. Paul McDonald has completed in the game 8 of 27.
You know why the fumble occurred? Because there was a change at center. I think Connie Kawhi is in there at center. And whenever you make that change, quarterback and center, invariably you have a problem or two.
You're right. Even though belated, Tom Fleck is beginning to loosen up on the sideline for the Cleveland Browns. Number 10, their number 2 quarterback. Here's Dixon.
Zachary Dixon on the sweep left. Divided by Hanford Dixon. 8 of 3.
And there is the man that we were talking about, Tom Fleck, from the University of Washington, talking to Sam Ratigliano. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 38-yard line following that gain of 3.
Zachary Dixon. In this situation, you want the clock to run down. Don't run out of bounds.
That's right.
You do your team a disservice by running out of bounds. You're not going to pick up any more yards. Stay in bounds.
Al Gross had the coverage. Paul Johns coming back, number 85. Here's the flag. The legal procedure. He turned around and he didn't point either side.
Illegal formation. Number 64 in the backfield. 6 men on the line. Penalty declined. 4th down.
Illegal formation. Ron Essig was lined up in the backfield. Ron Essig is the left tackle, number 64. He wasn't up on the line of scrimmage. Made it an illegal formation. There's Flick.
Jeff West will be kicking. Brian Brennan. Fair catch, 25-yard line. So Cleveland will take over their own 25-yard line. And we'll be back in just a moment to the Kingdome. A 37-yard punt. They'll have a new quarterback. Here is number 10, Tom Fleck, 6'3", 190 pounds, University of Washington, in his 3rd year, completing 65% of his passes in preseason. And he'll hand off on the first. No, he's doing a throw right out of the box. Jeff Bryant hit him. Recovered by Seattle.
You know who feels best about just what happened? It's a funny thing to say. Not Seattle, Paul McDonald. He's probably saying, look, fellas, see? It's not my fault. Not my fault. Look at this. Jeff Bryant.
That is the 6th sack for the Seahawks. And we still have 13:57 to go in the game. There's Paul McDonald. 21-yard line. Cleveland. Seattle has the ball first down. Now they'll run. They'll run every down from here in.
They would expect. Oh, yeah. That was an audible. He changed the play.
Zachary Dixon and Reggie Camp makes a tackle.
Reggie Camp, number 96 out of the University of California. Boy, he blew it.
Second down, 17.
It's sort of an unwritten rule. The coaches, they don't like to rub it in. You know, I mean, why rub it in? But the defense knows you're going to run the ball, so now those defensive players can just sort of tee off. It makes it tough on those offensive linemen when everybody knows what you're going to do. But again, why rub it in? You're a 33-point lead.
Another factor, though, another factor. Right after this play. Here's why he's throwing. Pass is complete. Flag comes down. Metzelaar is the receiver, and he's brought down by Eddie Johnson. No, it's Mike Tice.
Eddie Johnson on the tackle.
There is, when you get to the playoffs, one of the tiebreakers, as for a wild card, whatever it might be, is point differential. And your total points, as they begin to add up over the season, fall into one of the tie-breaking categories, although be it not maybe the first, the second, or the third. But it has been known to happen as it goes down.
Pass interference, number 86, offense, second down again.
Offensive pass interference on Mike Tice.
He runs into the defender. Oh, there it is. Oh, he put his head down and just plowed into Eddie Johnson. And the onus is on the offensive player to try to avoid a defensive player when he's running a pass route. Mike Tice pretended he was an offensive guard. He looked like Reggie McKenzie coming out on that pass play.
Second and 27. Good defensive play. Reached around and knocked it down. Third and 27. Tice the intended receiver. Hand for Dixon. Good play. An offensive line for Seattle now. Ron Essig, Edwin Bailey, Connie Kawhi, Robert Pratt, Bob Kreider. Third and 27. The Seahawks did not run a lot of time off of the clock. 13:01 penalties and incompletions. 13:01 left to go in the ball game.
This is a good time for a screen or a draw. They probably won't run either one since they lined up in that spread formation, the shotgun.
Acquired from the Eagles by the Cleveland Browns. Good pass rusher. That's the reason why. The fumble recovery started at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks made tracks back to midfield, so they'll be punting.
Better for the punter's average.
Yes. You always see the bright side of things. Jeff West will be kicking. Ryan Brennan is the return man. Good catch. At the 17-yard line. 34 yards on the punt. 12 minutes, 24 seconds left in the opener. The Seahawks lead it 33-0. This is Charlie Jones, Gene Washington. 12 minutes, 24 seconds left here at the Kingdom in this King 5 telecast and a special telecast on a special Labor Day weekend of the home opener of the Seattle Seahawks. And of course, after the ball game, we'll be going right back to the Jerry Lewis Telethon. Tom Fleck. Pass is complete. Du Bois Green. Gain of a couple to the 19. It'll be second down and 8. Bruce Schultz made the tackle. And Boyce Green comes up limping, and Schultz goes out on a substitution change. Johnny Davis, known as a blocker from Alabama, there he is. Usually used in short yardage as a lead blocker. You saw just a glimpse of Paul McDonald, the starting quarterback, had a terrible afternoon. On the phones to the coaches upstairs. 2nd down and 8. Here's the draw. Mike Pruitt. A yard to the 20. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Don Dufek makes the tackle. Mike Pruitt, 14 carries for 40 yards. And now Flick will be throwing. The defense knows he'll be throwing.
You know, I'm still, though, surprised that we haven't gotten any further word on Warner's injury, unless they took him to a hospital for further examination.
I think that's what they did. I would assume that. And because they want to make sure, I mean, you know, there's X-ray equipment here at the Kingdom. There's much more to hospital and different angles, and they can double check everything. Flick with pressure, he's sacked. Jacob Green got him. 7 sacks for the Seahawks.
Well, as they say in Long Beach, Jacob is whooping Paul Farron like he stole something.
He stole something?
Like he stole anything. On the right side of your screen, number 74 trying to block number 79, and it doesn't work.
Steve Cox will be kicking. Paul Johns will be returning.
By the way, Long Beach is where Poly High School is.
I know, that's where you go to school, and they all went to school. Unfortunately, it burned down. No, that's not true. It's not true. Oh, that's a great kick. 39-yard line. Paul Johns to the 45. 50. Returns near the 45-yard line. 16 yards and return a 49-yard punt. We'll take a timeout. 10-13 left to go in the ballgame. Seahawks lead it 33-0. Jim Zorn is now the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, his first appearance in the ballgame. Dave Craig, with that terrible last preseason game against the 49ers, an excellent game today. 14 of 28, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
And those statistics don't tell the true story of his performance, in my opinion. I think he was
magnificent. Yes. David Hughes. Hughes, the ball carrier, to the 40-yard line, gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Eddie Johnson, inside linebacker. Cleveland holding, it's like his wrist. Either his wrist or indigestion.
2nd down, 5. I have a question for you after this play. David Hughes. Just mark it for no gain. 3rd down and 5. Now this is what can happen. You played over your most spectacular career in games in when you have been on both sides. You've been ahead with a large margin. You've been behind. It's happened to everybody. From a player standpoint, what is the effect at this point with just over 9 minutes to go, winning and losing? Is it to get the game over with?
Oh, yes. Oh, no question about it. I mean, it's not realistic to think that you're going to pull a game out when you're behind 33-0. So really, you just want to just get it over with, get it behind you. You know you're going to go in the locker room. You know the coach is going to just shoo you out. Oh, Jimmy!
Flags were down. He fumbled the ball when he went down. They said, no, he was down. Cleveland will not get the touchdown. The fumble cannot be caused by hitting the ground. But there were a couple of flags, so Cleveland was offside, so they could have gotten the ball back anyway. However, I'm not sure that he was down when he fumbled it. So we'll look again at this one. Give us something to kind of chew on here in a game that's gotten out of hand, 33-0.
There's the offside indication against Cleveland.
Offside, Cleveland.
So the only question remaining, was it a fumble or not a fumble?
They talked about that rule at the meeting, and they said if any part of your body...
Except your feet or hands.
Okay, I think his knee is down.
No.
His knee...
Can we back it up and just look at that part of it? It's such a close
if his knee was down before the ball went loose.
Now watch here. Now watch.
Okay, watch his what?
Well, you don't
what?
know. Could go either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, the officials there don't have the benefit of the replay.
And we only had to look at it twice and we're not sure. We looked at it twice and it's a toss-up, right? The offside penalty will take the ball to the 33-yard line. It was 3rd and 5. 5-yard penalty. Oh, they declined it. Did he pick up the first down? He had it. Okay. Thank you, Lou.
Well,
Lou Gallows here directing traffic.
One thing, the question you just asked me about how players respond in situations like this, the one mistake you don't want to make as a player on the field is not to let up.
Yeah.
Because that's when you can get injured. When you start to relax and let up.
Flag is down. David Hughes. Fumble. Cleveland picks up the ball. Chip Banks. A left hook. Is that Hanford Dixon that ended up with it? Yes.
Yes.
Now remember, there's a flag back in the 36.
I think they saw the tape of the Stanford Cal game.
Number 31, offense, penalty declined, first down that way.
Here we go again.
Chip Banks is going to come up with a loose ball. Then he thinks he's a USC running back. Then he says, no, I'm not a running back. I'll give it to someone who can.
And that's Hanford Dixon, and he doesn't do much better than Chip. The bottom line is, Cleveland has the ball at their own 2-yard line. And we have 8 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the ball game. Seattle leads it 33-0. So we've had a little bit of everything. Mike Pruitt. 3 yards to the 5. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
The Seattle defense, though, they're hitting like this game is tied up. I mean, you talk about swarm tackling. Woo!
Right after this play, we'll take a look at the scores in the National Football League of the games played yesterday afternoon. And a strong opening for the AFC West. A very weak opening for the AFC Central. Mike Pruitt. And he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Atlanta defeating New Orleans. Denver by 3 over Cincinnati, so Cincinnati loses. Pittsburgh loses by 10. Their Central Division teams. Kansas City wins for the West. Raiders win for the West. Houston loses for the Central. Miami wins for everybody. Washington loses. New England, good ball. You did that. They got a good ball club, right?
They do. Big, strong offensive line.
The Jets, I'm afraid that the Indianapolis Colts are in for a long year. Pretty good ball game for the Giants. They look pretty good from what I hear. And they win by 1. 3rd down 7. Flags and miscues and whistles, and the clock is stopped at the 6:47 mark. Cleveland is 0 for 10 in 3rd down conversions. Let's go back to those scores again. Green Bay over St. Louis. That's a big upset. I think St. Louis expected to chase the Dallas and Washington.
San Diego coming in here next week. And if they have Kellen Winslow, if they're able to resolve that situation, there, my boys pulled it out.
Yeah,
I was
but
worried.
They had a struggle. They had a struggle.
They've always had problems with Detroit.
Well, they did again yesterday.
Sims is some kind of running back. And Chicago
over Tampa Bay. Boyce Green, the ball carrier.
Boyce Green, the ball carrier. Great game.
Bill Cleveland still has not converted a 3rd down opportunity in the ball game.
Steve Cox is in the punt.
4th down, and Steve Cox is in to kick it away.
He had 4 on the last play.
Paul Johns is set for the return.
appears as though Seattle will get on the scoreboard again. They're going to have excellent field position. 6 minutes to go.
Good kick. Fielded at the 45-yard line. And a 9-yard return for Paul John. 47 yards on the kick. Scott Nicholas makes the tackle. Gene, in the past, you and I have talked about games like this. You've suggested what is known in television as the uncle rule. And when a team gets out in front 33-0, the other surrender, says uncle, and everybody goes home.
I think so. I think the officials should be able to go to each coach and say, you know, do you say uncle?
Do you give? Do you say uncle? Yeah, okay.
That's instilled the uncle rule. I'm sure there are a lot of players who would volunteer to.
And I bet there's a few coaches too. Zorn just changing the cadence, pulls people with him. Now the question is, was he pulled off? They check with the officials. Is it a false start, or you can tell by the way they march for the ball?
Encroachment, number 72, defense.
Not pulled off.
First down.
First down and 5. Now at the 41-yard line of Cleveland. Has the first down.
Got a good block from David Hughes.
Al Gross with the tackle.
Number 46, David Hughes at the fullback position. Watch this block, the lead block. Does a good job. There it is. Al Gross, defensive back, strong safety. David Hughes takes him out.
Dixon, 10 carries for 25 yards. First down at the Cleveland 34-yard line.
489! 489!
Zachary Dixon.
Just checking the book here to see what the largest winning margin the Seahawks gave, and 39-0 against Buffalo. 1977.
About one more than got it. Second down 12. Dixon again. 31-yard line, gain of 5. It'll be third down at about 7. That largest winning margin by the score of that ball game was 56-17 against Buffalo. 39-point margin.
Well, one thing we can be sure of here, I think anyway, is that Seattle is not going to kick a field goal.
No.
So,
in this situation, though, third down and 7, they will be throwing. Even though you're winning 33-0, you can't stop playing football. Did not get back in time.
I think they'll take the play.
Take the play. He made the first down. 23-yard line. Needed 7, and he got 9, and it'll be a first down. The flag's, of course, stopping the clock. They'll refuse it.
Number 72, defense, decline, first down.
Some opening day in the NFL. Good football games, some surprises.
And until this morning, no shutouts in the opening weekend. And there's still one to go tonight. Dallas and the Rams. Dixon, brought down by Al Gross. Now, from a running back standpoint, they've been You know, it's Dixon in the middle, Dixon to the left, and Dixon to the right. Everybody knows that's what they're doing. They're trying to run down the clock. Dixon's got to say, wait a minute. Wait, King's X. You won't install the uncle rule, but what about a little play action fake and throw to somebody else? Second down and 11. Dixon 14 carries, 36 yards rushing.
This is when the single wing starts to look good for a running back, right?
Yes. David Hughes. A couple of yards on the play. It'll be third down and 9. Reggie Camp with the tackle. Now, when it was 3rd and 7 a moment ago, I expected them to throw. They did not. They ran. Now it is third down and 9. Clock moving. 2.5 minutes left to go in the game. Dixon to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Dave Fazuli, now the nose tackle, number 72 from Pittsburgh, played his collegiate ball there.
I think Dixon is injured.
Taken in the 6th round a year ago. The one thing you do not want to have. Oh. 2-minute warning is given to both benches. Dixon is the injured player, and as they work on him, we'll go away, but we'll be back in just a moment. 2 minutes to go, and the Seahawks lead the opener 33-0.
Charlie, you hate to see a player go down with an injury at any time, but you have to think about Seattle and the fact that they've obviously won this first game and now moving on. We don't know the extent of Kurt Warner's injury, and Zachary Dixon is injured where if he's out for a couple of games, now you have to think that the Seahawks have to look for a running back in a trade situation.
They're going to have to, yes, I would think so.
Randall Morris can't come back for 4 weeks. He went on injured reserve, so they don't have him available.
And we might as well address ourselves to it. Now, this is not rumor. Listen very carefully to what I'm going to say. This is only a thought, not speculation, not a rumor. We don't know anything. To get a quality running back, it takes a quality ball player. Who could Seattle give up as a quality ball player right now in this situation? The first name that has to come to mind, let me be the one to say it, is Jim Zorn. That's how that's the way that you can go after, because he's a quality quarterback. You can go after a quality running back. Eric Clay, shoot to the left side. Eric may solve the problem himself. Eric says, wait a minute, hold it. Just because I'm 3 on the depth chart doesn't mean I'm 3 in my heart.
But the problem is there's no one behind Eric.
That's right.
He's the last running back on the roster. They were carrying 3, I shouldn't say running back, 3 in the tailback spot. The other players are fullbacks.
Yeah.
And they're good at the fullback spot, but they're not the tailback types.
First down, goal to go. And again, that's not speculation. We don't know any. It's not rumor. It is just, it's a thought under the situation.
That's called reality.
It is reality. Now, this is reality. This is Chuck Knox reality, and I like it. I like what he's doing. Fans don't understand. Fans don't understand. I like what he's doing. He said, we have the ball game won. No sense of fooling around. We're this close, you know. We're 143. Let the clock run.
Really? And I tell you, Sam Retigliano, who's on the other side, appreciates that, because, and Knox has been in this situation before himself.
It is what I call a professional move. This is class. A chance for us to be able to mention the people involved in today's telecast. Our game was produced by James Burns, directed by Mark Warner, our technical director Dixon Williams, Mark Mono, our associate producer. And so many people, as you see the names come up and the time remaining, involved in this special King 5 telecast for the Seahawks fans. They finally did it. They were 0-8 in opening games, and the record now moved to 1-8, although be it a very costly one physically. Kurt Warner injured in the first half. They took him to the hospital. Further tests, we do not know anything in addition to that statement. This is a third down, 29 seconds, down the ball here, and that's it. Now only the clock has to run out. So a very impressive opener for the Seattle Seahawks. But now they have injury problems that they will face. As you said, Gene, I think that's the key word, and that word is reality.
Because the problem here is, that let's say that Kurt Warner has a slight injury, and let's say maybe is out for a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks can change your momentum so much. But again, we want to emphasize the fact that we're just thinking out loud here. We don't know anything. But if you think in terms of we want to maintain momentum, they played so well today, then you need a running back who can provide that spark for you. And a lot remains, they have to find out just where he is health-wise, and they'll find that out sometime later tonight. We'll be back in just a moment.